going on, Nissan Nation? It's your buddy Dave once again with the 2017 Nissan Titan, and this is going to be one of our last videos with the Titan. We've had this truck for 3 years now, and have they been great? 3 great years? Yeah, I'd say so. The truck has been pretty cool. We've documented in the last video, click above, we've documented, yeah, there's been some hiccups with it. Obviously there's some paint, some paint issues that we've had with this truck. Luckily it's a lease and we didn't own this vehicle, so at the end of the day, I'm sure we'll get dinged on our lease when we turn it in. But at the end of the day, I don't have to worry about this thing in 5 years rusting away, and it's my problem. Now, do we like the 5.6 liter V8 engine in this thing? Yes, we do. We've documented it previously, and I'll just go back over it once again. The truck has been amazing. This has been amazing. I've got to drive the latest Toyota, the latest GMCs, and this truck is by far my favorite V8. From the factory, it sounds great. It's hard to find a V8 anymore that a truck that just sounds good. They sound okay, but this one sounds racy. It really does. This is the Pro4x package, but it's the same exhaust system that Nissan puts under all the Titans. So there's nothing special about having the Pro4x for the exhaust. Now, 390 horsepower. How did those horsepowers do in the real world? Well, we've documented it. Link above, you can see that. We've taken this thing on several trips. We've gotten pretty good mileage out of it. 19 to 20, somewhere in there, I would say is the average. Not bad for a 17 model. It's a few years old now. It doesn't have all the latest tech and features like the 2020 has, but it's still, I'm very happy with the mileage we got out of it, because at the end of the day, this still is a big box of a truck. Like all the trucks, they're just not the most aerodynamic thing that you want to cut through the air and go on maybe trips with. But 20 miles a gallon, super happy with it. We've documented about the paint issues, and I just rub my hand over it and I feel them. There's all kinds of paint issues with this. Nissan seems to have a thing with their paint. I don't know what it is. From all their new cars, it's very well documented, the nicks and everything that seem to happen with it. I have a feeling it's just manufacturers trying to lighten the load any way they can to make these cars more fuel efficient. I really feel like the clear coat on this vehicle is nil to none. That's my one major ding for this vehicle. If I could change it over, I would say Nissan do a better paint job on this vehicle. But other than that, we've had a good 3 years in this vehicle. I would recommend this vehicle to anybody. If I were to buy it brand new, I definitely would say get a clear wrap on it. But I would do that to basically any new vehicle anymore. I really do think that all manufacturers now are playing this game of less is more. They're trying to make the most on these vehicles. They're trying to be as cost efficient in building these vehicles as they can. So when we get our next Frontier, trust me, from the showroom floor, it's going to be wrapped clear, and I may just go ahead and wrap it a different color just to protect the paint, because that's my major ding with this vehicle. Other than that, let's walk around the vehicle real quick and let's talk about it. So once again, you can see the paint. You can just see the nicks in it. It is what it is. I don't think it's really exclusive to Nissan. I think it's exclusive to how manufacturers are sort of cheapening out. But it is what it is, and I'm sure when I turn this thing in, I'm going to get dinged for it. It's something that's really not ownership's problem, but I'll get dinged for it because this truck really didn't have that many highway miles. It's been pretty much in town, and once again, kind of is what it is. As you can see, the little chips everywhere. It is a pretty flat front end, so any road debris is going to kind of come at it. But we've replaced the windshield in this thing one time due to road debris. There was a nice $500 expense. We've not had to change tires on it just yet. As you can see, I fussed about this in the previous video. This really isn't due to it might be curb rash a little bit, but this isn't. And you can just see like the cheapness of these letters. They're falling apart. And General makes a great tire, but for some reason it's all over. It's just the same. I had somebody ask me, tow mirrors. This package it does have the tow package. And with that means, there we go, they slide in and they slide out. That's been super handy on trips. We do tow these Xteras with this thing, so that has been super handy on trips. Now they're not powered like some of the bigger brands are, but this isn't an F250. You're not expect to tow with this all the time, so it was just an option. Body of this truck is handled, it's held up pretty well. got a little ding from something, who knows, probably a parking lot. Once again, the tires, just, I would put better tires on this thing. If I'm doing the Pro4x package, I'm putting BF Goodrich KO2s on this truck. I know for mileage why they don't want to do it, but this is your Pro4x. This thing, I've link above. I've talked about what Pro4x needs to be in the Nissan package, but so be it. Tailgate and everything's held up great. Once again, you got to like the fact you just pop it and it, you know, slowly comes down. Obviously there's garbage in there for truck use because it is a truck and we do use this thing. The badging, everything's held up very well. Here's some, you can see let's see, right there. Thinning of paint, just thin, man. And I couldn't even tell you how that happened. I can tell you on this one here, a few weeks of ownership, we were carrying some chairs in the back of this truck, we were moving, and it just rubbed it like that. Like in 30 seconds, rub. Why that is, cheap, thin paint. But other than that, truck's held up very well. Let's get in the inside of this vehicle and let's bring Kelly into and let's talk about the things that she liked and maybe didn't like about this.
The thing I really like about this thing is the space you get in it. You do get quite a bit of space. I mean, granted, every full-size truck gets a lot of space, but there's cup holders everywhere in this thing. And I documented this in the last video. But Kelly, how has all this space worked out for you?
It's caused a little bit more chaos, so I would say that it probably has a little bit too much space from that perspective.
Yes, chaos is like she has stuff everywhere. Every container in this vehicle is full, but I mean that's why you have all these spots to hide things, right?
Right. I never got a chance to fully organize this because this wasn't supposed to be my truck, so
yeah. It's weird how that works out. It wasn't supposed to be her truck, but yet it turned into Kelly's truck. And it's not that you don't like your Xterra. It's just it had a battery or some electronic gremlin at the time, and you just needed a car to drive. And I literally would have only drove. This thing's got, let's see, 40,269 miles. If I would have just been my truck still, the thing would have had
15.
If that, 10, 12,000 miles on it at most. So we get 45,000 miles on this thing with the lease. So, and we drove it quite a bit.
We did.
So I do have to admit, one of the best parts about this Titan is you click it, it locks, hold the button down, and I am going to miss that feature, aren't you, Kelly?
It's my favorite.
We've taken this thing on a few trips.
We have. We've taken it to Michigan.
We went to Michigan, Florida, Ohio. I guess you could say a couple times to Ohio.
Yeah.
You didn't take this. You didn't take this to pick up Sydney. But I've taken it to East Tennessee. I took it to Bristol, Tennessee one time.
Yeah. We've taken it to Atlanta.
It's been to Windrock 3 times. I think 3 times. I don't know. It's been to Windrock a few times. So.
But that still is all encompassed in his 15,000 miles.
Yes. Yes. So we've still had quite a bit of driving, and that would have still met my 15,000 miles. Daily life in the Titan, Kelly. What's it been like for you? What's it been like for you? Because you do drive this a lot more than I do. So it's your first big V8 you've ever had. Obviously, we've documented that initially in 2 weeks you got pulled over because you were having so much fun with the power.
Mm-hmm. Day in the life, it's actually been pretty good. I hate to stereotype, but it's funny when guys look at you driving a truck as a girl and they don't think you can drive it, but you can drive it better than they can.
Right. And you park this thing way better. I mean, you always make fun of me for parking, but I don't drive a big truck a lot anymore to be, Nissans are known for their turning radius, and this one's not horrible, but it could be better too.
I mean, it's been good. I'll be honest, I'm going to be really sad. Like he talked about the remote start. I'm going to be really sad when that goes away, because it's really nice during the winter and during the summer. Those are the really prime times that I use them. So pretty
much 365 days a year. It's perfect.
I didn't use the down for the windows very often.
I would in the summer.
So you use that a little more than I did. I didn't use that as much, but I did like that as a feature. But for me, I actually most recently have just started putting down the back seats in the back of the truck. So that I can get more groceries and things in here that I don't have to worry about putting them in the back of the truck. So those are kind of things that I've wish I had adopted to earlier.
Well, Kelly, part of the reasons we wanted a Titan was all this mess, right?
Right.
We accumulate a lot of stuff, especially during pandemics. It seems like you might start accumulating more. So,
And I don't like to throw it all in the trash, so I like to take it to recycles.
right. So you grab this, and that's why we have a Titan. Just take it. Ta-da!
For the record, this is not all just from the pandemic.
No.
It's been stuff we haven't gotten done in a long time. It's funny how pandemics do that to you.
It is funny how they do that to you. And no, we're not endorsing Sam's Club by any means. Downsides of being in a truck versus maybe your exterior, because you came from cars too. So what's the downside for this thing?
Downside of the truck,
Of just
size.
trucks in general.
The size itself.
Okay.
Because I do have to find I don't have to be in as big of a parking spot like we talked about as you do.
Right.
But at the same point, I do have to be in a bigger parking spot than I would in my Xterra. Like I go from driving this and I jump in my Xterra and it's like driving a go-kart. I actually joke about that that happens all the time. It's kind of like, oh, I'm driving my go-kart today. But that's probably the biggest downside of the truck itself.
Just the size of it. But if you haven't yet, like and subscribe to what we do. Kelly, this is starting to fund things we're doing, right?
It is. It is starting to fund things. It's nice to not always be putting money out.
Right.
For the
Some money coming in. And of course we do our live chat Sundays, but you know, this does fund. We want to say thank you by you looking at these videos. It does fund the things we
Hey, it bought me a drink in Chicago.
It did buy you a drink in Chicago. Thank you,
Because of Ronald. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we knew it was time. All good things must come to an end. And just disappeared. So this has been our 2017 Nissan Titan. Have we enjoyed it? We damn sure have. It's been a great truck, man. American-made truck. I don't care what the big three people say. This truck is awesome, man. I've owned Fords, I've owned Chevys. I've been very happy with this truck. The outside of the truck isn't what ever sold me on it. It's the inside of it, and it sits amazing. It handles amazing and drives amazing. And it's not a bad looking truck, to get me wrong. These things are a bargain, and I mean it. Like this thing, they'll sell it. I guarantee you, used, this thing, you can get it for $28,000 or so. And that's leather loaded, man. So guys, let us know what you think of our review here. Have we been pretty honest? I think we have. We've talked about all the downfalls, all the things I do love about it. If you haven't yet, click this. It's our initial 2-year review of this vehicle. So from all things Nissan here in my driveway to yours, this has been your Nissan Nation podcast. And I hate to do it, but goodbye, Titan. Peace.